Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Watchlist. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in, that maybe you're interested in, are coming out. This is going to be the Watchlist of January 2024. In the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available to any of these shows that I talk about in this Watchlist. On January 3rd on Hulu, specifically here in the US, we have this new anime series called Ishura, which I have no idea what to fully make of this. I looked at the plot of it on IMDb. Essentially, all these strong warriors had banded together to kill the Demon King, and now that he's dead, they're basically all fighting to see who's the strongest. It seems like this almost like apocalyptic fantasy show. I watched like a trailer for it. It's still didn't clarify anything, but like I said, that's just a plot summary from IMDb. Seems interesting. It's based originally on a light novel. That light novel has been adapted into a manga, and this is the first anime adaptation. So, I mean, it seemed interesting. I just like legitimately have no idea what to really expect from it and what the full story is going to be. As I stated earlier, it's going to be on Hulu, specifically here in the US. Obviously, it's airing on a specific channel in Japan, but like in certain countries, it's airing on Disney+. I think the US is the only place it's airing on Hulu. On January 4th on Netflix, we have this new series called The Brother's Son. Seems really interesting. Basically, Michelle Yeoh plays this mom who's kind of the head of this crime family, and basically she kind of finds herself in some trouble, and it's up to her two sons, the oldest who's kind of mixed into the crime life, and her youngest who has no correlation and connection to it all. It's this really interesting kind of action comedy series, which I love anything in that vein, but it seemed really dope. A lot of neat choreography, and it just seemed like it's going to be like a fun action-packed ride. And so more Michelle Yeoh in the world, like, can't go wrong with that. So it seems really interesting for what I saw in the trailer, so I'm excited to check it out. On January 5th, also on Netflix, we have Gyeongseong Creature Part 2. Obviously, we're getting the next 3 episodes. Obviously, it's going to be this Friday by the time you're seeing this video, so it's a couple days out, but I don't know what to fully expect. Where episode 7 left us off at, there's some interesting plot threads. Obviously, I won't spoil anything if you're not completely caught up, but yeah, I'm excited to see where these 3 episodes take us. There's many directions that can go with what's been set up, and I'm curious. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be a one and done or whether there will potential be room for more in the future. So I don't know whether like this is going to be the completion of the story or how it's all going to wrap up in the next 3 episodes. But I'm excited to see what ends up happening and how this all plays out. On January 9th on NBC, we have the 3rd and final season of Brea, which I'm very excited about. I am sad to hear that it's only going to be 6 episodes. I remember hearing that the final season was going to be short. Was not expecting 6. At least what I've looked up recently was saying 6, so that's wild. To be fair, the show's only like, I mean, that's literally cutting the final season in half, because like the other seasons were like 13, weren't they? I believe. I don't know. That's wild to me. But I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and refresh. I remember somewhat where season 2 left off. I believe Eve got sucked off to somewhere else. There's still like plot threads related to, I mean, like the little bit I'm remembering. I don't want to get like too into it, but I'm like I said, I'm gonna definitely do a refresher course on finding out like where season 2 left everyone. But it's like, I mean, 6 episodes, I mean, they're probably going to end up speeding through a lot of stuff. So I mean, at least we're getting a proper conclusion. I mean, I'm happy about that. It's just kind of sad that it's getting like so heavily reduced, but I'm excited to see what happens this season and ultimately see how the series wraps up. I wonder if they're going to really wrap up a lot of plot threads. I mean, it is a time travel thing. You probably have a lot of wiggle room with that while also being confined in certain regards. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how they how it all plays out. Next one is, I saw conflicting dates. I've seen some things say January 9th. I've seen other things say January 10th, and that is Echo, the latest live-action Marvel Studios series that's going to be dropping all of its episodes on Hulu and Disney Plus simultaneously. I'm very, very excited. The trailer looks dope. I really liked Echo in Hawkeye. I like, you know, I know people are very mixed on where they stand with the MCU, which is totally fine, but I'm very excited. Like, it seems really interesting. Echo's a character I'm really excited to learn more about her backstory. You've got a little bit of it in Hawkeye, but diving more into her circumstances and diving even more into her relationship with Kingpin and where she stands, where her journey takes her on this path. And it just looks, it looks gritty and like bloody and like hardcore, you know, once again kind of in that same tonal vein as the Netflix Marvel show. So I'm excited to see what ends up happening. I've also saw conflicting reports about the number of episodes. I've seen some things say 6 episodes. I've seen some things say 5. So we'll ultimately have to wait to see where it, when it comes out, how many episodes it is, and also like what date. But I'm very, very excited. On January 11th on Netflix, we have a new series, a limited series called Boy Swallows Universe. Essentially, this boy's like, I think it's his stepdad and his mom. Like, it's specifically, I think his stepdad crossed the wrong people. Like, he was into some shady business, and this boy's mom, I think it's 2 brothers actually, but I think it revolves mainly around one brother in particular who, trying to save his mom, it basically like starts taking a deep dive into the underworld. I believe it's like an Australian series specifically, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, just from the trailer alone, I'm still not quite sure what to fully expect from the show, but that seems to be the bare bones premise to some extent. It's based on a novel, which I thought was interesting. It specifically says like I saw online like a semi-autobiographical novel, which was interesting, but it seems really interesting for what we've seen in the trailer, so I'm excited to ultimately see what it's all about. On January 16th on Hulu, we have this new series called Depth and Other Details. I have no idea what to fully expect from this. All I've been able to pick up from it is, because there's not even a trailer out at the time we were recording this, all I've read was that it's a locked room murder mystery with Mandy Patinkin, is that his name? From like Homeland and Criminal Minds are kind of like the things he's probably best known for. But, you know, once again, I'm a sucker for a good whodunit murder mystery, you know, especially a niche one, not niche, but like a very specific one, like a locked room murder mystery. So I'm excited to see what that ends up being, especially because I have like next to no idea what to expect from it. On January 17th on the CW, we have the 3rd season of Family Law. I'm not sure if this is the final season or not. I talked about this at the time. I don't know where the 3rd season currently stands when it came to Canada, because I couldn't find a lot of like episodes, because obviously like it's already aired in Canada, but I don't know what that whole thing is. I mean, I really enjoy Family Law, and I'm excited to get more of it. I already knew there was a season 3. Like I said, I just don't know where that currently stands airing wise, or at least the last time I checked, I wasn't sure where that really stood Canada wise, like the episode, because I don't think everything aired, but I could be mistaken. So, like I said, I think this might be the final season. I don't know if the show got canceled, or I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I actually have to go back to, because I'm like, I don't fully remember where season 2 left off for Abby and everyone. I know some story beats, but I don't remember. Like, obviously it's one of those shows where it's just like, it's kind of a case-by-case episode type of situation when it comes to the family law of it all, but also just the interpersonal relationship Abby has with her own family, and her divorce last season, and now things with her dad and working at this law firm, and now that she's, you know, in a better place in many different... It's definitely going to be interesting to see where the 3rd season takes us. Also, on January 17th, also on the CW, is a new kind of police procedural crime drama called Wild Cards. The premise behind it is it's kind of your unlikely pair put together. Basically, this guy who was a detective kind of got demoted down to like handling like marine like crimes. Like, he has to work at like a marina and stuff like that. But he ends up joining forces with a con woman, and it's kind of like I said, that unlikely pair of like, she's kind of a criminal, but she can help have this different perspective and use her skills to help him catch some bad guys. So it's kind of this redemption arc for him as a detective, but also to kind of keep her out of jail. So it's like I said, I love that odd coupling type of storytelling. I really like that, especially in my crime dramas. So it feels like this is definitely on the more like comedy crime dramas, and you know, like your Castles, your Sykes and stuff like that. It feels like it's going to be in that similar vein. And finally, on January 19th on Paramount Plus, there's a new series called The Woman in the Wall. It's actually not new. It's already aired in like the UK a couple months ago, I believe, but I'm not quite sure what to fully make of this series. It involves a woman played by Ruth Wilson who is kind of sleepwalking, and she's doing like stuff, because it seems like it's all based on like some psychological stuff that's connected to like some, I don't know if it's like church group that was basically kidnapping kids, and maybe her own child was taken and maybe she didn't remember, or I don't know. Like, it involves her doing some stuff, and there's a detective investigating her as well as this group. It's like 6-episode thriller, if I remember reading correctly. Like I said, I don't quite fully have the premise locked down on what it is, But I mean, just from what I saw, it seemed interesting. Once again, anything in the thriller, crime drama lane, I'm quick to jump on. So it seems really interesting. It's starting to air on Paramount Plus first, but then like 2 days later, it's going to debut on Showtime. Like they do that sometimes because obviously that's all under the same umbrella. But yeah, so like I said, it seems interesting, so I'm excited to check it out to kind of get a full understanding of what it's all about. And that brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe I wasn't aware of that you're aware of, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments down below. Once again, it's like a couple days, it's like the 30th at the time you're recording this, so more stuff could come out. Plus there's always new announcements like in the middle of the month, so it's gonna be well after I've already uploaded this, so there probably will be a lot more stuff that I'm interested in that's coming out that I'm just not aware of yet. So do keep that in mind. I mean, don't be afraid even if later on there's stuff, like I said, it's in the middle of the month and there's stuff coming out that you're like, oh, you can still hit me up to let me know, oh, this is coming out well after you've already uploaded this. I'm still on the lookout for some stuff to watch, even though I've got so much on the back burner already. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.